The United States has the biggest, most powerful navy on the planet and is constantly teaming up with close allies. So, you might wonder, since those allies build some pretty amazing ships, why doesn't the US just buy from them? It seems like a quick way to beef up the fleet, right? Well, the answer isn't about quality. It's actually a lot more complicated than that. The biggest reason is actually pretty simple: protectionism. The US has strict laws designed to keep the defense industry at home. The goal is to protect American jobs and make sure the country can always build its own gear without relying on anyone else. While the government can grant waivers to buy foreign tech, the system is set up to favor domestic work. Then there is the issue of specs. The Navy is incredibly picky. While many allies build ships for regional defense, staying close to home, the US Navy plays globally. Their ships need to travel massive distances and stay at sea for months. They need a huge range. They need specific features, like systems to wash off nuclear contamination. They need to plug perfectly into American tech. Even when the US tries to adapt a foreign design, like with the Constellation-class frigate, it gets messy. By the time the Navy finishes modifying the design to fit American weapons and standards, the cost skyrockets, the schedule falls apart, and the ship barely resembles the original. In that specific case, the changes were so drastic that it ended up being canceled. Keeping secret safe security is another massive roadblock. The US government needs total control over the sensitive weapons and communication gear on its ships. Relying on a foreign supply chain opens the door to security risks, like spying or hidden technical vulnerabilities. By building everything domestically, the US ensures every bolt and microchip comes from a trusted, audited partner, cutting down the risk of sabotage. Finally, it's about survival. Shipbuilding capacity is a strategic asset. The US needs a standing army of skilled engineers and technicians ready to build ships in an emergency. If the government started outsourcing major warships, those domestic shipyards would dry up and that expertise would disappear, something the country just can't risk.